So, on my last inventory check, we had a couple hundred missing.
You think somebody stole them?
I don't know, but today we're supposed to have 2 trucks out making pickups. But our GPS transponders say there are 3. Something's up.
Sounds like you got yourself a poser. But how am I gonna know which one it is?
If you can check their license plates, we'll know which one shouldn't be out there.
You can count on me then. Genki, there are 3 feast trucks out in the city and one of them is phony. Could use your help here.
You could use the camera in your suit to grab license plate numbers, and I'll run them against stolen car databases. Try it on that truck. It works! Okay, I got the truck locations from Feast, so you should see them now. Snap the plates, and I'll run them against the database.
You're the best, dude. Stand by for pics. Gotta get those toys back for the kids. Man, nothing beats this holiday stress, huh?
Okay, running the plate. The truck's legit. Keep looking.
Gotta get close for a clear picture.
Okay, running the plate. Bingo! Follow that truck!
Listen, all I'm saying is don't make me look like an idiot in front of Joe, right? He's running this. Stealing toys?
Cyberpunk level rectals.
I didn't get presents as a kid, and I turned out fine.
Right. Sounds like they're stealing toys for some sort of deal. And this Joe is the one in charge. How am I gonna find him?
If you can grab pictures of their faces, I'll run them through facial recognition software and see if we get a match.
Okay. Sounds like I gotta use camo if I'm gonna get in close.
Cross-referencing. Hold, please. Nope. Picture of innocence. Next. All right. Checking the police database. This one's clean. Nice photo, though. Nice. Running the photo. That's our Joe. Follow him.
Don't touch anything! Be right there!
That must be the buyers.
Once they're together, you can take out the whole operation.
I'll cut to the chase. You're about to have the hottest toys you can see. Either going for trouble at last.
Stealing toys from kids? Were you guys trying to get on the top of my butt-kicking list?
You don't stand a chance!
Way to be in the spirit of the holidays, guys! Actually, I took the Spider-Man oath, so I think I can speak for him here.
Holidays are saved! Now, just check the truck and make sure the toys are still there.
Why can't there... Oh, I have to get to the side door. I thought I'd had to open here, but no. We just have to get... No. Oh no, there was just a rear mirror. Huh? What am I supposed to do here? I can't interact with this truck. No. Maybe it's another truck that I have... Eh? Is this buggy or am I missing the obvious? What am I supposed to do here?
Genki, I found the toys. Just cleaning up some stragglers.
Cool. You got this, buddy.
That's it. I'm taking my toys and I'm going home.
His bones will still break!
So this is extremely buggy.
Hey, Sam. I found the toys. I'm sending you the location, but they're all safe and sound at the docks in Midtown.
Ah, I'm so glad to hear that. On my way over right now. Can't thank you enough, Spider-Man. You just saved the holidays for a lot of kids. I'll make sure these toys get back safely.
Glad I could help, Sam. You have yourself a happy holiday.
Doesn't get much better than thwarting a gang of toy thieves and saving the holidays for kids.
You said it. And I couldn't have done it without you, bro.
Okay, boss. What's the plan?
Finn's family has a repair shop in Midtown. She used to do all her work there. If I'm lucky, she still does.
Wouldn't it be easier to just call her and talk?
I don't think so, man. Seeing her on the bridge? I don't know that person. I need to figure out why she's doing all this.
All right, man. Do what you feel is right. Keep me posted.
Someone got stuck on a building. I told the app about it. Better go check it out. Piece of cake. Got to tour Oscorp in 8th grade. Finn was way skeptical. Said that they were gonna destroy New York one day. His breath almost proved her right.
Clever girl.
Hey, guess what's the 24th most downloaded app in New York
Think that's
City?
my stranded washer
Friendly
guy.
neighborhood.
Dude, we're in the top 25? That's awesome! And a little scary.
Spider-Man, thank God you're here. Power short-circuited on my platform. I'm stuck.
I could carry you down, or I could power up the platform.
Platform sounds better.
They turned the power off.
But we haven't grabbed the loot yet!
No choice! Go!
You're dead!
Okay, just need to connect these relays and we'll be in business. That didn't sound good. Energy load must have reset the circuit. Maybe if I follow these wires, I can restore the power at the other end. Hang tight, sir. I'll get you back up soon. A generator. There we go. That should do it. Just gotta reset the breaker now. Looks like the power's reaching the breaker. We got power. Nice.
You saved me! Oh man, I don't know how to thank you.
It was no trouble. Really.
Seeing that on the minimap, there's an enemy here. Where is he?
Folks, here we are again. A major disaster in our city. Explosions, a bridge collapse, weapons discharged amid rush hour traffic. Thank heaven no lives were lost. But we can't be that lucky every time. What if this attack had happened a few days later, during the so-called storm of the century the 5 o'clock news won't stop jabbering about? From disaster to bedlam in a snap. And there's plenty of blame to go around, including to these underground thugs. That being said, it'd be a dereliction of my duty if I didn't point out that the Underground's attack was little more than an armored car heist until Spider-Man's bratty little sidekick showed up and tried to handle things, all on his own. What happened next? He made things worse. This new kid wants to be Spider-Man? Well, he sure is living up to the name. Speaking of which, anyone notice that the original Spider-Man hasn't been seen lately? I think I know why. He's like the parent pretending that the kid melting down in the cereal aisle isn't theirs. But we know the apple doesn't fall far from the web. We know it. You're the apple, Spider-Man.
Something's weakening emergency responder communications. Should check it out.
These micro lags are sometimes odd. I'm not sure what the case here is, what the problem is. It's an NVMe SSD, the CPU is fine, the GPU is fine, it's odd. I'm not sure if it's DLSS 3.0, or maybe the game is unoptimized. I'm not sure. The same thing I could sometimes find/see in the first Spider-Man, so I have no idea what this is about. Maybe it's the game loading areas and it just takes a second because it's not properly optimized. I don't know.
Finn was always checking out books before she finished her last ones. She even grabbed mine when I wasn't looking. Said it kept her brain sharp.
2 centuries on, we're still grappling with the most basic of questions. What does it mean to be American? Throw a stone and you will hit a dozen possible answers. Well, first, America is not only the US. That's a bit arrogant. There are a couple more countries. I mean, there's North America and South America, and there are many countries there with many people, so saying American is already a problematic thing, since, you know, there are other countries who also can call themselves American. So, what does American say? Is that referring to a US citizen, or is that referring to someone living on the American continent? Then again, there are two. So, yeah. Anyway, courageous, righteous, free, patriotic. Okay. In this decade-by-decade chronicle, we look past those simple answers to get something truer. The results may shock you. They certainly shocked me. From the preface by Ezekiel Pendragon, or Pendragon, Seeing Beneath the Veil of Nationalism. Based on impeccable primary source research, this deep exploration of the American experience is told through the eyes of those who lived it, an expansive and surprisingly moving work. Expansive. It's not about money, but about the depth of this work. Oh my. I mean, United States of America is interesting in the regard that it's a melting pot of different cultures and civilizations, primarily, of course, European people who came there. Something that's not always crystal clear to people nowadays is how that came to be. And in order to understand why so many people from Europe went to the United States of America, well, back in the days it wasn't the US yet, is that you have to understand that in Europe, back in the days, only the firstborn son got to inherit the property of its parents. And the second and third and fourth sons, they didn't inherit anything. So they had a problem at home because there were already too many people on too little space, that they had nothing to inherit, and that their chances in life were very minor. So they set out into the world and they tried to find new opportunities. And this new land ripe for the capture, I mean, except for indigenous people, but the European explorers didn't give a shit. They just rolled over them and built their railroads and their cities and their saloons and whatnot. So primarily, especially in the beginning season, the explorers who came there were the ones who had very little perspective in Europe. And I can't blame them. And nowadays, look at the country. I mean, yes, the politics of the US, especially if we look at military and invasions of other countries, that's absolutely terrible. And it's a shame that the people responsible haven't been punished yet. But on the other hand, if I could think of a country that basically dominates the world in military political sense, I'm most certainly going to prefer the US to what, China? Did you look at China? You do realize what happens when China would dominate the world, right? No more freedom of speech, no more free press. You couldn't criticize anyone, you'd instantly get thrown to prison, etc., etc. Or Russia, or any of these countries, look at them. Look at the kind of, look at Russia. This shithole. When I see the reports from Ukraine, when Russian prisoners are surprised that they have running water for toilets, the average Russian is surprised by running water? Where do we live, in the 18th century? The average Russian soldier is surprised that they have washing machines. They are stealing washing machines because these are incredible creations for them. They have no washing machines at home. They have no televisions. These guys are living in the medieval ages. What a shithole country. My goodness. The stories that these prisoners tell of what their life is at home in Russia. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, oh my goodness. Anyway.
I can't shoot him if I can't see him! Firing on Spider-Man!
My biggest fans. Hey guys, let me give you a couple of love pats.
Detain him!
Yeah, what now, Roxanne? That fire does not look good.
Spider-Man! Thank God. Something's weakening our emergency comms. We can't get through the fire department.
Is anyone still inside?
No, we got everyone out. But this fire's gonna jump if we don't get help. Hear that? Just noise now.
I think I can find the source. Don't worry, I'm gonna get your comms back up. The sooner I get to the source, the sooner the fire trucks get here. My webs can't handle a fire this big. Whatever's weakening the signal is just ahead.
Fire's burning real good, and all I'm hearing is static. Guess powering down the tower worked. Insurance only pays out if the whole building goes down. So make sure the static stays healthy.
The weakening comms for an insurance scam? I gotta stop this. comms are weak because there's no power. We need to charge up that generator. Hey, Mr. EMT. Dudes are trying to burn down that building for an insurance jam. That's why they're messing with your comms.
Are you serious? They're putting people in danger.
Yeah. How's the fire looking?
It's getting real close to jumping to the building next door, and I still can't reach the fire department.
Signal should be clear soon. Hang tight. I'll update you. Getting close.
Hang on. The signal's stronger now. What'd you do?
Why are you always assuming things are my fault, huh? What's that about?
Can't wait. I gotta get those comms back to normal. Now to get the comms back to full power. There, I think that worked. I should check on the fire and make sure comms are back up. Hey, how's the signal now?
Everything's coming through loud and clear. Got through to dispatch, too. Fire trucks are pulling up now.
Arriving in 4, 9, and 17 minutes.
Got this on a field trip to a Wakandan Design Group Expo. Finn saw all the tech on display and shouted, "I want to be an engineer!" Guess it's stuck.
I kind of like the idea of Wakanda. In reality, the African continent has suffered a lot from slavery and explorers, even though something that in the 21st century is often forgotten. Yes, many European nations had colonies in Africa and subjugated and murdered innocent people, but something that is even older is that Africans themselves enslaved Africans. Africa is a nation, has a history of enslavement, but not by white Europeans only. No. Africans have enslaved their own people, their own kind, the citizens of their own continent, for thousands of years now. And that is something terrible. If we look at Africa now, we still have warlords and criminal bosses who... yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. They abduct little children, especially girls, and then sell them. There's so much darkness in Africa in that sense still. And I don't see a solution to that. I mean, Europe, America, the US, the Western world try to pump billions of dollars/euros into Africa to help these people, but it doesn't matter how much money you pour into that. As long as their societies are corrupt, as long as they have politicians and police and judges who just squander the money for their own personal gains, it doesn't matter. You can pour in $5,000 billion, trillions, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't reach the people because the countries there are broken, it's not going to help them. And that's a terrible... And the problem is there is no solution in sight from an outside perspective. The only way would be to conquer them in a military way and then force the people, the politicians and the corrupt elites out and then directly make sure that the ordinary people get the resources and the technology. But that is, of course, not the way of the 21st century. So the only way that Africa can be helped is if Africa helps itself. The people in Africa need to understand that they have to rise up against dictators, against tyrants, against corrupt politicians. Nobody else can help them. I mean, there is no other... It doesn't matter how much money you pour into that. It's not going to solve the problem. The African nations have to help themselves. And I don't really see that happening. And if I think about that, and of the fact that Africa is kind of the birthplace of humanity, yes, I know there are already scientists who say, yeah, we also had ancient humans from other regions, yes. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't one of the birthplaces of humanity. And it's a beautiful idea to believe that there is a highly advanced nation in Africa that Africans can be proud of. Africa has a big problem with the question of identity, since it's split apart, especially when the Europeans left Africa in good old United Kingdom fashion, you know, the British. They had a map and they had 20 different people with, I don't know, 10 religions, and a human with a brain would try to create, draw maps incorporating only the people of a certain group. But no. In good old UK fashion, they just draw a straight line through territories, mashing 5 religions and 50 different groups of people together, and we're like, yes, this is now your country, goodbye, we're leaving. I mean, seriously, and then everybody acted surprised when it didn't work out. Because they didn't give a shit about what kind of people, what religions, Muslims and Christians and whatnot were thrown together. And then they all acted like surprised. Oh, it doesn't work out. Who could have seen that one coming? Well, everyone with a brain, obviously. You can't just draw straight lines on a map. If you have different people with different agendas and different religions, it was madness. Madness and stupidity. Of course, the same can be said in Asia. Also, for example, if you look at India and Pakistan, the partition there also, yeah, that didn't work out so well. But also from a British perspective, I mean, First World War, and then Second World War, Hitler basically destroyed the British Empire, because after the First and Second World War, there was only little left. The British lost so many soldiers, good humans and ships. The naval power was diminished. They just didn't have, and their economy was in crisis, obviously, because they were fighting Germany in the First World War and then Nazi Germany in the Second World War for years. So their economy was in shambles, their navy was in shambles, they had hundreds of thousands of dead soldiers. Especially, there is a story that I once read that was kind of sad. In the Second World War, the British offered villages/cities the ability to fight together. So, for example, if you had 20 neighbors, they put you in the same group, so you were with your friends fighting. That was kind of an upside in terms of morals, but there was also a massive downside. So, for example, if your unit got wiped out, the entire village where you came from did not have any young adult men anymore, because they were all dead. Usually when the soldiers were from different regions and when a unit got wiped out, their home country, hometown still had male young men that would eventually return. But if all of the males from one village were thrown together and all killed at the same time, that village basically lost all its young men, which is terrible, obviously, because no kids, and yeah. So the idea behind it, for morals, fight together with your friends, that was a beautiful idea, but if we look at the results, that it was just terrible. Yeah, so I like the idea of Wakanda. A nation, an idea that Africans can be proud of, that they can flock behind the idea of something that has purpose, that gives meaning. It's of course just fantasy. In reality, if we look at Africa, there isn't great unity. I mean, they did create a sort of African League that supposedly is there to aid all their interests, but if we look at what actually happens, usually only the more powerful African nations dominate the interests of that group, and the smaller African nations with less influence, with less money, yeah, their voice usually gets drowned out, which is a shame. Alright. So, next episode, we're going... emergency comms down. I mean, the building's burning. Hopefully it won't burn down.